Viajeros, welcome to Mochilazo. My name is Luis.
And I am Gabby.
And we are back in Louisville, Kentucky for the Kentucky Bourbon Trail. We are visiting this distillery, Rabbit Hole. And this is kind of brand new one. They opened 4 years ago in 2018. They just come to the market. So this is brand new. It's a nice building and they are making some innovation in the bourbon world. I know Rabbit Hole because they are in the kind of middle to top shelf when you are looking in the Trail Wine and other local stores. So you will find especially the sherry cask finish that is a top shelf
bourbon.
So we will take a tour today with them. So we were waiting this for long because they closed for the COVID. So we are back.
We live in Lexington.
Lexington. Okay, got a couple of Kentucky people. And you all are, don't tell me, Western Tennessee, but now South Florida. Right. Yeah, see, look at pay attention. Nashville. Okay. No, not too far at all. Not too far at all. All right, well, welcome guys. We're really excited to have you all here. So before we get started, just a little bit about why you're here, why I'm here, why Rabbit Hole is here. Okay, so we were founded in 2012 of three basic principles. Okay, innovation, authenticity, and transparency. Now that innovation and authenticity, that goes into our bourbon. You won't find our bourbon anywhere else, okay? There's a lot of monotony in this industry. Same stuff, different label. Not ours. We like to innovate and create something that we're proud to put up on the shelf. So it was designed with you in mind. You're gonna see every aspect of our production, from grain to glass, okay? We're not gonna try and hide anything. All right, so as we walk down this hall, we're gonna stop along the way and talk about a few different aspects of our production. And then we're gonna head upstairs to our distillery, big open room, we call it the atrium. And then our final stop will be the tasting. Sound good?
Sounds
okay. Good. So as we move down this hallway, okay, I want you all to think of it as this side is more of the muscle side of our production, our shipping, receiving, and this is more of the brains of the operation. This is where the chemistry happens, fermentation, tasting, all of the cooking, that's where that happens. Now I do have to say though, you're allowed to take videos, you're allowed to take pictures, but videoing the entire tour, we can't have that, unfortunately. So just bits and pieces is totally okay, because we do like to have that transparency aspect, but as far as the entirety of the tour, we gotta leave something for the other people, right? You know? They usually switch out rye and wheat. Well, our flagship was a 4-grain. Our Cavehill, the black label that you see in there, right in here, it's a 4-grain. We have malted wheat, malted barley, and honey malted barley. No. Okay, so what happens is it deals with the level of toasting. So when we say honey malted barley, we torch it for a little bit, and it just comes off looking like honey. And you smell it, smells like honey. It's got some toffee notes to it as well. We had a product last year that used chocolate malt. And what that is, essentially, it's just toasting it longer. And so it comes off a little bit more like cocoa. But this is our bottling line. Now you notice it's not big. Okay, this was an old tire factory, so this is just the room that we had to work with. Now if you notice, it's not in a straight line, it is in a U shape. And we have one guy that sits in the back that loads the bottles, and then it runs through this entire line, gets corked, filled. It only takes about 5 people to run this line. Distillate comes back to the barreling room and is fed in through that little tube right in there. Right now he's actually filling something. He's filling up a barrel. It takes about 2 to 3 minutes. Oh yeah, nobody's afraid to wait. Everybody's friendly around here. It's all good. It does look nasty, right? Yeah, that's in the barrel that's been aging. So what we do is we fill that barrel. It's got to be a brand new charred American oak barrel, right? We slow roast it, kind of like a marshmallow, right? You know how you toast a marshmallow and it's cooked all the way through? Well, what that does is open up the wood sugars.
Can we try one from the barrel, straight from the barrel?
Man, I wish we could, man, but they're not dumping. If they were dumping, I'd be able to get in there, but unfortunately they're not. The nervous system of our entire operation. You see all these pipes? Everything's connected, okay? You see a 7 on a tank, that's a fermentation tank. That's where all the fermentation happens. And this doubler right here, you get a good view of it from here. This is our second stage of our distilling process. Where that low line is coming out and then fed into double. This is where my wine comes out. So what I have in my hand is the high wine. Okay, the stuff that you want to try. This is the stuff that we put in the barrel. Okay, so if you want to, hold your hand out. I will warn you, you got a paper cut, it'll find it. All right, it's at 135 proof. Go ahead, get a little bit. Oh, it's right here. Hey, yeah. He didn't get any.
Are you selling the white dog?
Yeah, that was the white dog. Go ahead and clap. But the older distilleries had to have these, okay, and that's what condensed their high wine. Now 2 people had access to those at the distilleries. The master distiller and the taxman. Showing this top of the column. So there's that beer warmer that I mentioned earlier, where it gets heated up to 180 degrees. It's kind of cool, 48 feet. Four whiskeys, 3 of which are bourbons, and 1 of them is a gin. Okay, now everybody does their tastings a little bit different. Mine's a little bit different from Mason's. Mason's is different from Terry's, so on and so forth. But generally speaking, our palates are not going to be the same, right? So if you taste something that I suggest, that's great. If you taste something different, feel free to share. I want this to be like a dialogue, okay? It is a formal setting, but we can keep it casual and we can just talk about bourbon and whiskey. Move left to right, okay? And what we're gonna start with is our flagship product, Cavehill. Now this one is bottled at 95 proof. It's 70% corn, 10% malted barley, 10% malted wheat, 10% honey malted barley. All right? Now, when you're trying high proof spirits, okay, you can switch it around and you'll see the legs. Doesn't really mean as much as it does for wine, but we want to nose everything. And when you nose it, keep your mouth open and let that ethanol roll off your tongue and out. That way you're not getting punched in the face, right? What you smell? I get a lot of vanilla. Caramel, yeah. That honey is really popping off on me. It's really coming out. Did anybody get any type of creamy aspect? I get some orange cream when I taste mine.
Yeah, orange.
Yeah. I get the viscosity. That's those fatty acids that we're doing. Whatever you're searching for, if you're searching for a little bit of spice, if you're searching for that sweetness, that honey, that caramel, you're gonna get it with this one. This one's our straightforward bourbon, right?
And this is for grain because the malt, right? That you explained us.
Oh yeah. It mellows it out, right? And did you feel a little bit burn going down here, down your throat? That's that wheat. That's that extra sweetness, but it hugs you a little bit better.
Some bourbons that have a lot more fight to them than that.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Especially on the first sip, it's not as bad. It's really not as bad, and it'll get smoother as you go. Add a little bit of water to it. Really mellows it out. A lot of people say that it proofs it down. Not necessarily. Okay, proofing it down, you gotta chill it or heat it up, and that'll affect the proof. But if you add a few drops of water, water's the whiskey as air's the wine. 70% corn, 25% malted rye, 5% malted barley. Okay, go ahead and give this one a nose. This is still just over 3 years old. I get a lot of orange off the nose.
How old is it? It smells.
Just over 3 years. They're all over 3 years except for the last one. Okay. Give it a nose. What are we getting? I get some vanilla. I get the staple bourbon stuff. A lot of citrus, though.
Yeah, citric.
Not as sweet, and that's because of the rye. And you'll notice it's got a real sweet start and a peppery finish. It's like a hard candy, like a butterscotch. Get a butterscotch? Yeah. Yeah. You know those caramel free, little caramels with the little cream in the middle? I get some of that too. It's just very creamy. That's not fatty acids. Yeah, you get the pepper, but it's not overwhelming, right? It's not like a black pepper. Yeah. It wasn't. It's not the best thing you've ever had. It's not the worst thing you've ever had, right? Yeah. That's because the Kentucky stuff, right? Yeah. Like an overall preference? No?
I think I like the aftertaste of the Cavehill better. Like the
The sweetness. Yeah, absolutely. Move to our rye whiskey, not a bourbon at all. This follows all the same rules though. We still toast the barrel, we still char it. It's still a new barrel. However, it's 95% rye, 5% malted barley. Okay? No corn. Okay? That's the difference between the whiskeys and the bourbon. Now this one is not going to be like other ryes that you try. This one's going to be a lot more mellow. Okay? You'll get that pepper up in the front, but it's not going to overwhelm you because of that malted barley. All right? Let's go ahead and take a nose. I get a lot of brown sugar with mine. Some gingerbread with a hint of like lemon zest, like not a squeezed lemon, but if you lemon zest. What are y'all smelling? Yeah, absolutely. Anybody else? Anybody get brown sugar? Possibly. Can't identify it. It's on the tip of your tongue. Literally put it on the tip of our tongue. Let's put it on there. Yep. Stays up in the front, okay? But it's not overpowering at all. It's a lot mellower. Yeah.
The title here is Sour Mash.
Well, right? And then it goes through the distillery process, and then we send that over to the other side of the distillery. What's left is slop. Okay? So half of it, or not necessarily half, some of it we use in the next cooking process. We do that for two reasons. One, for space, okay? So that way we don't have to mill as much. And two, it keeps the recipe consistent. So we don't have to really, since we are a small batch whiskey and we mill to order, when we use the sour mash, that helps keep the recipe consistent, because when we pull it off the line, sometimes it's a little bit different. It's more of like the single barrel-esque type deal. Speaking of, we don't make this gin. We get it from G&J Distillery out in London, so it comes to us as a London dry gin. Okay, but what we do with it...
London?
London, yeah.
Kentucky.
No, UK.
Oh, UK?
UK.
Okay.
Yeah. No, yeah, he was right. Yeah, no, not London, Kentucky. No. Right, yeah. Hey, you know what? Some other people have made that mistake. London dry gin, all right? But what we do is we put it in these Boxergrail barrels, our used ones, okay? We don't give those back to Kelvin Cooperage just yet. We use them to our advantage, and we age it 6 to 8 months. And now, normally, it's not that color, right?
Yes.
That's where it gets this little Mountain Dew-ish type color. This is a clear bottle, as you can see. And it takes out the juniper flavors entirely. Who likes gin? You like gin? I am not really a fan. I wasn't a fan of gin at all until I sat where you all are sitting right now and tried this gin. So go ahead and nose it. Get a lot of lemon. Lemon is popping out of this glass. Yeah? Getting some lemon in it? Ever tasted a gin that tasted like that before? Didn't think so. It's different, right? That rye whiskey barrel really complements this gin so well. I used to imagine gin, it's like, you know, when you're a kid and you're playing soccer, or you're out in the field and you trip and you eat a mouthful of grass. That's what I imagined drinking gin as. But not this one. Do not, however, put it in tonic. The reason being, tonic takes out that barrel-aged element in it. Okay, so you might as well just put a regular gin in there. Yeah. Other than that, just some straight-up lemonade by the pool. Fantastic. Who's a fan of gin now? Or at least this gin? Yeah? Not bad, right?
I like a good gin and tonic.
Yeah? Well, I mean, I'm not opposed to it. I've just had too many bad experiences in college. You all didn't come to Kentucky, or at least this distillery, to try gin. So we're going to end it on a bourbon. Now this is Derringer, okay? 68% corn, 18% malted wheat, and 14% malted barley. This is our wheated bourbon, okay? So this one's aged 4 years, aged a little bit longer, but what we do with it is we put it in another barrel, and it's called finishing. We finish it in a Pedro Jimenez sherry cask. Now this sherry comes from Spain. We get these barrels all the way from Spain, okay? And this sherry uses some of the sweetest grapes in the entire world. Now when you nose it, you're gonna tell right off the bat that it's super, super sweet, right? I wanna make this into a candle so bad. It's delicious. It is delicious. When you take a sip, I want you to think of chocolate covered cherries. That's what you're gonna get. This is dessert in a cup right here. That'll make you feel good, yeah. What are we tasting? Yeah, almost like cognac, yeah. Yeah. Somebody said a week or two ago, get a little bit of Dr. Pepper. And I thought that was interesting. I get a lot of chocolate, almost dark chocolate on the front, and the finish I get almonds and some pecan. Yeah, you get the almond. Out of the distillery, this is our favorite, or our top seller right here. It's really sweet, right?
Yeah, I think if you like cognac, that is the good between.
That is. That's a nice little introduction, right? I like to think of this one, somebody who is a novice and trying to immerse themselves in the world of bourbon. This is a good one to start. Not necessarily for the process of it, but for the taste. You know, it doesn't hit you in the mouth. You don't really get, it's a lot smoother. You get the sweetness from it.
How long do you finish the
We
bourbon?
finish it for 6 months up to a year in that sherry cask, right? Other than that, that's all I have for you all. I really appreciate you all coming in. Yes, it has a Heigold in it, yes. Yeah, thank you. Thank you so much. Bar, this is called the Overlook Lounge. This is my favorite view of the city. Sometimes I forget to look out and enjoy it, but what I can do is offer you an old fashioned with our Heigold in it.
Hey guys, we just finished with the tour. This is a tour family friendly, so as you can see, Gael is with us. This is important because when you are booking, you are going or plan to attend the tour with your little ones, so this is a good place to do it. Kids are free, so the tours are $25. But it's pretty cool because you get 5 shots with a good bourbon and the gin sample, plus you get a really nice old fashioned
at the end. And the kids are not allowed to sit at the table, but there's lounge chairs where they can sit.
We like it, really. You will enjoy this tour. It's
really good tour.
And especially with the tour when you are walking around the manufacturing facilities, it's very quiet if you compare with other distilleries. So they make a really nice job here. The building is pretty nice because it's brand new, and the tour guide the people is friendly. So we really recommend this tour. They are really doing a good job, and they have a good bourbon too.
Subscribe to Mochilazo if you have liked this content, so that we can continue to grow and share this with other people that you might think that find this interesting.
Give us a like because we are doing the Kentucky Bourbon Trail. So you see, we stamp our passports here, and we will continue to until we finish with the Kentucky Bourbon Trail. So this is Mochilazo. I'm Luis.
And I'm Gabby. See you in the next time.
See you in the next distillery.
I'm Luis.
Viajeros, como siempre, muchas gracias por ver este video. Si no se han suscrito, suscríbanse al canal, den un like si les ha gustado y compartan con los viajeros a quienes pueda servir esta información.